Healing VRMMO I started for relaxation somehow made me the strongest. Prologue. The Campfire user who subdues calamity. The earth split open, and the sky trembled as if in a fit of rage. This was the final phase of the Abyss Frontier, the largest official event in the game ever done online. The end was drawing near. The event field known as the Rift of the Boundary was now engulfed in flames and black smoke, completely devastated. The temples had collapsed and forests were burning while a rain of miasma poured from the sky. The once beautiful land of fantasy was now infested by the miasma of another world and had turned into a literal hell.
It is no use. The frontline cannot hold any longer. Healers, where is the support?
My MP is empty. I cannot recast in time.
Damn it. That boss has been acting way too strange since it entered the second phase. The screams of players began to flood the global chat, one after another. The boss known as Veritas, Lord of the Otherworld, had entered a rampage phase that surpassed all predicted attack patterns. Even the main party of the top guild, Wings of Radiant Light, was falling one by one.
Resurrections could not keep up. The tanks were being crushed, and the backline was being incinerated by area of effect magic.
The Vanguard was on the verge of total collapse. Then we legal to be. Someone! Just one more hit! If only we could shave off the last of its health! The player who shouted that was swallowed by a wave of miasma, and his logout notification appeared. The number of active players had already been cut in half. Even the NPC entrusted with the final line of defense, Karis, the gatekeeper of the world, had less than 10% of his durability remaining. At this rate, the gate to the Otherworld would open completely, and the world of Everdawn Online would be destroyed by the event. Everyone understood that there was no hope left on this battlefield. It was then that a single shadow appeared atop the roof of a crumbling ancient tower, beyond the fire and smoke. Even from a distance, he stood out clearly. It was an avatar that no one had ever seen before. He wore no flashy equipment and possessed no glowing titles. He was simply dressed in light travel gear, with a hood covering half of his face. Then perched on his shoulder was a small silver dragon sitting there like a kitten.
醒来扛了来救姥姥，你是母鸡没那都见哪？我能回宝苏烈，有威力的肉饼。哇，这有个呢，有威力的肉饼。
A wave of shock spread instantly. Players finally began to realize that the man was named Yu. He never appeared on the rankings, never participated in PvP, and did not belong to any guild. He was a mysterious player who did nothing but post screenshots of campfires and camping food. The man everyone thought was just a casual role player had now appeared on the battlefield of ruin. Then, as if it were the most natural thing in the world, entities began to emerge from the forest behind him. First, a silver-fanged beast clad in lightning burst from the earth, when next, a massive wooden giant stepped forward, followed by a golden spirit bird descending from the sky. The black snake wrapped in dark mist, a twin-horned beast covered in rock, a cat monster with an icy tail, and a demonic butterfly spreading poisonous wings. These were all unique, rare monsters that no one had ever been able to tame before. Now they gathered around the master of the campfire and stood in a silent, orderly line.
Are you kidding me? Are they really all his?
A moment after someone muttered in a daze, the silver baby dragon named Lu, on Yu's shoulder, took flight. The moment its wings spread, the air itself trembled. Lightning, fire, water, and wind mixed with light and darkness flashed across its scales. The small body of the dragon was enveloped in light, but it was not an evolution or a transformation. While remaining a juvenile, the very laws of the world seemed to dwell within its form. That baby dragon, is it possibly? You have got to be kidding me. Is that the legendary dragon that was not even obtainable as a boss drop? As everyone watched with bated breath, a system log appeared on the screen. The individual accompanied by player Yu has been identified as Lu, the dragon of all creation, or has detected an unexpected inheritance flag, transitioning to the next phase. Silence dominated the battlefield. Is that really the dragon of all creation? No, it was only a juvenile, but even a glimpse of its power made the world shake. Dragon of all creation, but that was supposed to be event only. The shouting turned to confusion, and then to fear. The administrators had once stated that the dragon of all creation was an existence that players were never meant to defeat.
And now that being was sitting on a player's shoulder.
Wait, it is just a baby, a hatchling.
Look at the attributes: light, dark, lightning, ice, fire, and wind. It has everything. Looks like the dragon is actually attached to him. Just who is that guy? The chat was in an uproar as over 100 monsters appeared from behind Yu. Was an overwhelming force of unique named individuals. It was an army led by a single human. This is a joke, right? Is he some kind of event character planted by the management? If he is an NPC, then why is his name just Yu? The high-level players at the front were speechless because they knew that while taming existed, no player should be able to lead this many unique monsters. The man with the baby dragon on his shoulder simply looked over the battlefield in silence. The boss Veritas seemed to sense the pressure and shrunk its magic power as if taking a defensive stance. All right, let us go. That was all he said. With those words, the monsters moved. Lightning wolves ran across the ground while the giant roared and smashed the earth with its fists.
Spirit birds in the sky chanted spells and fired arrows of wind.
Dark snakes pierced through enemy lines, and poisonous butterflies spread miasma. It was a march of calamity, but it was not chaotic. Every single monster moved with a clear will, as if protecting someone and creating openings for others. Lu let out a roar toward the sky. It was a signal that caused the magic power of all the monsters to resonate. Wind and fire overlapped to create explosions, while ice and lightning pierced the enemy. Earth and darkness fused to send cursed stakes flying from the ground. This was beyond the level of simple skill chains. Power of the monsters was being crystallized into a single will through you as a medium.
What on earth is that?
That is not a player. What is going on with this game? Eventually, the Lord of the Otherworld, Veritas, was surrounded by Yua's army, and the tyrant fell to its knees. Feat no other player had achieved, but Yu did not even launch a finishing blow. Nothing happens, deliberately Akeju. Instead, Lu leaped from Yuu's shoulder and fired a massive mass of magic power. A silver light pierced through everything, and the world was enveloped in brilliance. Light and wind swirled across the battlefield. Burnish the firewolf charged with a trail of flames, while Zelcro the stormbird flew with lightning. The massive Morga supported a crumbling fortress wall to protect the other players. Everyone realized these creatures were not moving because of a command, but because they wanted to help someone. It is incredible. It is like they have their own will.
They do have a will. It must be the bond they formed around that man's campfire.
And in the center of the screen, a single man was quietly tending to a fire. Yu did not draw a sword or use magic. He just kept the campfire lit.
Yet that fire was the heart of the entire battlefield. All Pot sat over the fire on the scorched ground.
And herbs drifted on the wind, and the monsters nearby glanced toward it. Okay, today's portion is ready. Come and eat. Lu chirped energetically and landed near the fire. The monsters that had been nearby naturally formed a line to get their food. The high-level player known as Crave the Lightning Blade approached Yu with a wry smile. Hey, can I ask you something? What is it? Who or what exactly are you? After a moment of silence, Yu laughed casually. I am just an office worker who likes camping. Everyone present was lost for words, but they felt there was no lie in his answer. While everyone else fought with blood and sweat, this man had simply sat by a fire and befriended monsters that were impossible to tame. In the distance, the boss Veritas finally collapsed and went silent. The world had changed, and the fire continued to burn quietly. The silver dragon hopped back onto Yuu's shoulder with pride in its eyes. Lu, it was a good camp today too, wasn't it? Yeah. The story goes back to the first night that Campfire was lit. It all began the moment a man wished he could just go camping. Chapter 1. Beginning of the Campfire and the Encounter with the Baby Dragon. Episode 1. To a World with a Campfire. It was already past midnight when Saeki Yu left his office building. The city was still full of lights, but no light reached Yu's heart. He wondered how many calls he had taken and how many documents he had edited today. His life was a cycle of coming home on the last train, eating cold convenience store food, and sleeping. Then, one day, he received a message from his younger sister.
Hey, big brother. Why don't you try playing a VRMMO?
What?
It is a game called Everdawn Online. The official service just started, but I have an extra beta tester account.
Why are you giving it to me?
You can go camping in it. There are forests and rivers, and the campfires are more realistic than the real world. You can survive without interacting with other people if you want.
Those words moved his heart. You can really camp.
Yeah, you can even level up your skills just by making a fire and cooking meat. Yu imagined himself spending time quietly by a fire in a night forest.
I will give it a try.
Oh, that is rare for you to be interested. I will send you the account info.
The next day, after finishing work, Yu set up his VR equipment and started the character creation. For the name, I will go with Yu. He chose the human race and a male gender. He gave himself silver ash hair and amber eyes, with a somewhat tired look. He chose to have no starting profession, which allowed his skills to grow freely based on his actions. I do not care about stats. I just want to go camping. He selected yes on the login screen, and his consciousness floated away into the game world. He found himself standing in the middle of a vast grassland with a clear blue sky. This is amazing. He checked his starter bag and found a water skin, some hard bread, and raw rabbit meat.
Ignored the log and walked toward the forest instead.
I do not need towns or crowds. I just want to see a campfire in the woods.
The busy village where players were gathering, and found a path not listed on the map.
Actually found a perfect camping spot with fallen leaves and a nearby stream. I did it.
He set up a campfire and lit the dry branches he had gathered. The sound of the flames and the heat felt incredibly real and healing.
This is exactly what I wanted to do.
As he sat there, he felt his stress melting away.
Suddenly, the brushes nearby rustled, and he saw a small presence watching him. It was a tiny creature with silver scales and big round eyes that could not fly yet. What is that?
Episode 2. Roasted meat, the baby dragon, and inside the hood. The sound of the campfire was crackling pleasantly.
Yu skewered the rabbit meat and roasted it over the flames until it smelled delicious. This looks better than real food. Noticed the bushes rustling again, and the silver dragon from before appeared.
It was about 50 centimeters long, with scales that shined like metal, and red eyes. Did not seem hostile, it just sniffed the air and approached the fire slowly.
Do you want to eat? Yu placed a piece of meat on a leaf, and the dragon ate it up happily. Meal, the dragon walked over and sat down by Yu's feet. Then the dragon climbed up Yu's back and tucked itself into his hood. Hey, wait a minute! Dragon let out a satisfied chirp and curled up inside the hood. Did you take a liking to me? Feel the warmth and breathing of the dragon against his back. I hope this is not a bug. Normally you need skills and items to tame a monster in this game, but he had done none of that. I was just roasting meat. He checked his logs, but there was no notification of a successful tame or a new party member. As night fell, he laid out his sleeping bag by the fire, and the dragon curled up on his chest. Do you have a name? The dragon flicked its ear at his voice. How about Lu? Dragon let out a small snort and pressed its cheek against his chest. I guess that is a yes.
The next morning, Yu woke up feeling refreshed, as if he had actually slept in real life.
I feel so well rested. Wait, something is on me. Lu was sleeping on his chest, with its head tucked against his neck. Good morning, Lu. The dragon chirped in response. Yu began preparing breakfast, and Lu watched the meat with interest. I guess it is okay if we stay together here. He had a quiet forest, a warm fire, and a mysterious baby dragon. I hope we can just spend our time like this, without anyone bothering us. Lou licked his cheek as if to say, I am right here with you.
Chapter 3: The Hatchling, Camping, and the Bulletin Board.
The morning sun filtered into the forest, and the tips of the leaves were wet with dew.
Yu took a deep breath as he washed his face with water from the stream. He could smell the grass, the soil, and the scent of cold water. Where in the world did you actually come from? Wait a bit. It is still too hot.
Whoa.
Camping really is the best.
You are surprisingly skillful at that.
Oh, I can roast and eat these. 어? 어떠? 울어.
Do not overdo it.
Haha, I guess you cannot fly just yet.
It is okay. The day will come when you can fly. It is so calming here, even though there is absolutely nothing going on.
I saw a player with a tiny silver thing on his shoulder. It had wings and scales. It used fire. That was definitely a dragon. That is a total lie. Dragons do not spawn near the starter village. You were probably just drinking at the tavern again. No, I saw it too. It was on the shoulder of a guy roasting meat. Well, I am not sure if it was a dragon,
But it looked like one. Roasting meat over a campfire. Who does that for roleplay? Also, that dragon was hiding inside his hood. I took a picture! Check the link! It is a bit far away, but there is definitely something on his shoulder. There was no tame display visible. Maybe he has a camping skill build. Or maybe it is a test unit distributed by the developers. The Dragon Tamer has arrived. Is he the strongest healing type player? I am so jealous. I want a shoulder dragon too. The thread gained momentum instantly and spread to the social media and video sits. Everyone was talking about the man with the fire and the dragon, yet the world where the story actually happened. But you knew nothing about any of this. The Abavina sang.
手渡しの妊娠に来て、三日名前をもとうど、和子あまつが愛やそやに。
It really is going viral. It couldn't be.
中なのこれがレトン屋の言う和音マリオノだ。
I future a scored on an exhaustion that has lasted a very long time.
I future as Firelord alongside.
At Sing Shelterfee always been there. It his rare days off spent with no energy, and nobody's mount we've not in Riar. While I was graduating and taking the job flan, he always seemed busy, and the tower and bodies and dishes. She had not seen look like he was having fun even once.
Hey, me used to the much more. And me used to the literal. I'm used to the night. Would never not indeed the Copen Club. Fema 9. Since becoming a working adult, that had all stopped.
I do not even have the energy to go camping anymore.
But you must melt this, Raz. It was why she gave him the extra account from the beta test. Knew this game was not just about fighting. Payment Bowis and find. A plaper could survive using only life skills. That you could make fires, set up tents, and go fishing. Most importantly, you could be alone in nature, away from people. Thought it was the place her brother needed most right now. You do not have to worry about leveling up. Just going camping might help you heal a little bit.
あれなれは、ビモラマイをテイさんが不しもげだってすので。
Hope that even if it was only in a game, he could smile again. Wonder if this was the right choice. You are all wrong. That is just my big brother.
わかえなわけねわるまで。レニオラマイをいては作画名樹のいらんだけんだね。
Hey, big brother. What kind of face are you making right now?
マラワシーズはラムダアッケなど馬を売るくだといいぜは焦った。
If that world provided the peace he could not find in reality,
Then I suppose I can handle being a little worried about him. Chapter 5. I did not intend to fight.
I'm using when nothing. She was a little warmer than the day before. It's just wet in Hoplo. Way to all islands greet to in Witsea. Nice but the almonds again by mini rushing for you Welton.
It is so peaceful today. It had been so quiet for the last few days that it felt almost strange. We just from working guys. The suka that was far enough from his base to stay quiet and clear. All right. He hooked a sane shields and lickin' privin to report. I think I will try roasting this today.
了无声的行为破灭会的星二呢？
A slime. Wait a minute, why are they in a pack like this?
Snorkiat. Was ein this real AI than Chonghru's wing kan with a shirt.
Lu jumped off his lap and stood in front of him. Her small body tensed as she narrowed her red eyes. Hey Lu, stop it. Let us just run away. I have 0 combat skills, okay? But Lu did not back down. The slimes surrounded Yu, leaving him no room to retreat to the river. Are you serious? I really do not want to respawn right now. Suddenly, Lu's body began to emit a faint light. The wind died down, and the air itself seemed to vibrate. Her red eyes glowed intensely, and the ground shook. A massive pillar of fire erupted from Lu's mouth. It was a dragon breath, but it branched out in multiple directions. It evaporated the entire pack of slimes in a single instant. Smoke and steam filled the forest, and the slimes were gone. The only thing left was the smell of burnt grass. What just happened? Yu could not process what he had just seen. Lu turned around as if nothing had happened and walked back to him. She chirped and hugged his leg. Wait a second. What in the world was that? She looked like a spoiled baby dragon, but that power was insane. There are not even any battle logs in my window. His screen showed no experience points and no skill history. There was just a scorched patch of forest where the monsters were. Who are you really? Lu did not answer, but she rested her head against his chest. Yu could feel her warmth and her heartbeat. She let out a sweet chirp that sounded like she was saying, I love you. That night, the internet was once again in an uproar. Eyewitnesses reported a player with a silver dragon clearing slimes. People suspected a bug, a cheat, or a secret developer event. The person responsible was fast asleep with his dragon. Chapter 6. Management Perspective. Unidentified Event Report Code Silver Dragon. At the Everdawn Online Operations Headquarters in a certain part of Tokyo. In the GM room, with a sterile floor and dozens of monitors, several staff members worked quietly. The Oni. Hey, isn't this strange? Kawaguchi, one of the assistant GMs peering into a monitor, raised his voice. What is it? There are no combat logs, but the slimes in the area have completely vanished. And it happened within a single frame. Multiple units were wiped out at the same time. The staff member next to him started to ask if it was a bug, but Kawaguchi shook his head. No, if it were just that, it could be a log extraction error. But these coordinates match the man with the silver dragon on his shoulder from the forums.
The other staff member's hands stopped moving immediately.
Wait, I thought that was just an urban legend. The Bulletin Board Thread is already up to part 15. Videos are being uploaded too. They are tagged with Silver Dragon by the Campfire. The Kawaguchi quickly accessed the server monitoring tools and pulled up the target account's login info. The username is Yu, Lifestyle Skills Specialist. Combat skills are 0. Level is at the initial starting point. For real. Then who defeated the slimes? I do not know. The log says no spontaneous action skills were used. The only thing showing up is an elemental magic reaction from a nearby non-player object. A non-player object? You mean that hatchling on his shoulder? So, do we have data on that hatchling? Kawaguchi switched monitors with a bitter expression. No, that's the problem. The ID does not exist. Does not exist? What does that mean? Is it not a pet owned by the user? Normally, yes. But there is no taming log for this individual. In the management database, there is no registered model for the same lineage, let alone a similar species. Hey now, even naturally generated monsters should have at least some basic tag data, right? That is why it is strange. It looks like a dragon species with silver scales. It has elemental action reactions and signs of what looks like a stealth skill. But it is not on the rare enemy list, and it does not match any event or GM distribution slots. So it is something no one knows about. A heavy silence fell over the room. Eventually, Kamiya, a senior GM operating another terminal, spoke in a calm voice. Assign it a provisional code. Observation target R-Class Alpha 1. Player U and the accompanying individual are now designated as singular observation targets. Avoid excessive interference. Prioritize the user experience and continue log collection carefully. Understood. Kawaguchi immediately recorded the instructions. Meanwhile, Kamiya briefly looked at a window showing the inaccessible area deep within the server room.
I doubt it, but I wonder if it is the Everdawn core region.
Another GM muttered quietly beside him. What we manage is only the surface game structure. But the core layer, the Everdawn core, is different. It is an area where a self-growing AI repeats environmental reactions to create unique ecosystems and existences. We cannot control everything with code. It is, so to speak, the will of the world itself. So, the Silver Dragon is something the Everdawn core needed. That is right, and the one who found it first was you. It is possible. This world was built assuming such miracles would happen. Elements not created by humans are born from the AI and found by someone. Did player U just happen to pull that winning ticket by chance? Whether it was chance or necessity, we will find out by watching. Chapter 7. Spoons, grilled meat, and a silver tail. Yu was assembling something while looking down at the remains of his riverside campfire. In his hands were a piece of wood he was carving and a scorched stone. A handmade craft tool window floated softly in front of him. All right, is it something like this? He added a curve to the long, thin piece of wood.
For a first attempt, it did not look completely unlike a spoon. Everdawn Online has surprisingly detailed lifestyle crafting features. Even just carving wood causes skill experience to increase bit by bit.
However, in this world, making even a single spoon requires tools and patience. At skill level 1, I fail an awful lot. Several broken pieces of wood and overcarved failures were scattered at Yua's feet. Well, it is a good way to pass the time while watching the fire. The embers of the campfire flickered between the stones. Yu was currently roasting the small fish he had caught the day before on a skewer. Next to him, Lu poked her head out from his hood.
She was a tiny silver dragon with red eyes that blinked in the smoke.
I guess you really are interested in this.
As Yu laughed, Lu let out a short chirp. She was still just a child, but she was likely an extraordinary being.
Remembered the fire pillar magic that had wiped out the slimes yesterday. However, the dragon herself did not seem aware of her power and acted spoiled after the battle. Yu still suspected that he might be dreaming. At least mealtime feels like reality. The sound of the fish roasting and the aroma of the fat filled the air.
In every way, it was a perfect camping morning. Okay, the spoon is done. Next is a grill, I guess. Yu stood up and began sorting through twigs he found along the river.
In this game, the quality and processing method determine the performance of the finished product. Even a simple wooden stick can have hidden parameters like easy to process. He looked at the branches for a while, selected a few, and began carving them.
Haha, this feels a bit like a science project. He tied them with thin vines and used stones to secure the legs. He adjusted the positions over and over so the whole thing would not be lopsided. Oh, it is starting to look like something. He finished a crude wooden grill that could be placed over the campfire.
Window displayed it as a crude wooden grill with a small cooking bonus. Not bad for a first-time craft. Lu jumped onto his lap, her tail moving faster than usual. What is it? Are you hungry? He tried placing a fillet of fish onto the grill. The fat sizzled, and a savory aroma filled the air. Ah, your eyes look like a wild beast right now.
Lu's eyes sparkled, and her tail wagged rapidly from side to side.
She seemed to be pleading with her whole body to eat it. All right, I will splurge a bit today.
The place has you on the shore.
This kind of thing is the charm of lifestyle play. He arranged the thinly sliced meat on the grill. A scent even richer than the fish spread around them. Oh, this looks pretty good. Lu jumped onto his shoulder and pushed her face toward the meat. Her nose would not stop twitching and her tongue peeked out. Settle down, wait until it is cooked. Oh, a notification window suddenly appeared in his vision. The notification said that Lu had a strong reaction to grilled meat, registered as a favorite, and trust increased by 12%. What? Yu stared at the words in the window for a while. What just happened? He did not know there was a system for favorite items in this game. And there had never been a visible parameter for trust before either. You really are not just a normal monster, are you? Ignoring his confusion, Lu was entranced by the sound of the meat cooking. Her tail swayed gracefully in circles.
Yu tore the cooked meat into small pieces and let them cool for her.
Lou stuffed her cheeks, narrowed her eyes, and wagged her tail with joy.
She was undoubtedly a dragon satisfied with a feast. Was it good?
Pew!
Lou licked her mouth and chirped happily. She crawled into Yu's chest, while her tail continued to sway softly. Hey now, you are going to sleep just because you are full. Yu smiled wryly at the hatchling curling up on his lap. He could feel her body heat through his clothes. When we are like this, it really feels like you are just a normal pet. But he knew that was not true. No name, no status, and no skill information appeared for her. She did not even appear in the combat records, yet she was powerful. Perhaps this hatchling was an accident born from this world that no developer intended. A combination of miraculous probability, his own choices, and him just being there. Well, I am kind of a miracle myself, starting with zero intent to fight. Yu stared blankly at the flames of the campfire. It was quiet, and the wind was a bit cold. But having the silver dragon next to him made him feel wonderfully comfortable. It was a feeling he had forgotten in reality. Just having someone by his side was so warm. Only the sound of the campfire echoed through the forest. Lou was fast asleep, and Yu thought to himself as he stroked her. The noise of the workplace and the moods of the clients feel so trivial now. In reality, he was just an ordinary salaryman who hated his routine. He had escaped into this game because he wanted peace. The path for a normal player is to fight and level up. Yet he builds fires, roasts meat, and sleeps with a dragon. For me, I suppose this is the right answer. Saying it out loud made his chest feel a little lighter. A notification window appeared in Yu's vision. It said that for staying near a campfire, he earned the title Camper. It provided a recovery speed bonus and unlocked the applied cooking skill. I actually got a title for this. He let out a laugh that soon turned into a quiet smile. The wind was cool, and the fire gave off warmth.
Pee!
Good night, Lou. Yu closed his eyes. The night was deep, and the game world continued to turn. But he had his own place and his own time, right here. The spoon, the grilled meat, and the silver dragon taught him something. They taught him that this was a world where he felt it was okay to be alive. Chapter 8. The First Village. When he stepped out of the forest, his view opened up suddenly. The wind blowing across the plains felt good, and Yu stretched. All right, I think I will head to the starter village today. He had been camping for days and was lacking salt and seasoning. He also wanted to get some daily necessities, like fishing line. You will probably get bored of meat without any seasoning eventually. Lou chirped from Yu's shoulder and spread her small wings. Do you actually understand what I am saying? When he teased her and patted her head, Lou turned her head away. However, her tail was clearly wagging from side to side. After walking for a while, a small stone wall and a wooden gate appeared. It was the Lindor starter village. At the entrance, 2 NPC guards were lazily keeping watch. As Yu approached, one of the male NPCs widened his eyes when he saw Luwu. Hey, look on his shoulder. Is that a dragon? But hey, that cannot be a pet, right? She is just traveling with me. I get it. The NPC's tone was strangely lifelike, just like a real person. As long as the dragon does not rampage in the village, it is fine.
Understood. If she looks like she will rampage, I will lure her with meat.
Meat works on it.
She is weak to grilled meat.
The guard looked confused, but allowed them to pass. Yu thanked him and stepped into the village while stroking Luo.
The village was peaceful with wooden houses and NPC farmers. Children ran around and demi-humans also lived there, normally. Yu first went to Mari's general store at the edge of the plaza.
Welcome, traveler. Seasonings are over here and tools are in the back.
I need salt, a herb spice mix, fishing line, and storage bags.
Yu bought everything he wanted, with currency from selling materials.
You are a bit different from the usual adventurers. There is a hill to the north, where fragrant herbs grow. I recommend it if you are using them for cooking.
Thanks, I will check it out sometime.
Yu was surprised that Marie gave him such helpful information.
Anyway, that little one on your shoulder is quite cute.
Yu looked down and saw Lu sniffing the spice jars on the shelf.
Hey, do not play with those. I will get a bill if they break.
She is almost like a human child. What is her name?
Lu. She is my traveling partner.
That is a good name. An old man once said he saw a silver dragon flying here. There is a legend that says a silver tail brings good luck.
Yu looked silently at the hatchling behind the shelves. Lu was still innocently rolling a spice jar around.
When they left the store, he heard the cheers of children.
Wow! A dragon! A tiny dragon! Looks so soft and cute!
The child NPCs ran over and looked up at Lu. Silver hatchling suddenly jumped into Yu's chest and dove into his hood. You are so easy to understand. He felt her moving around inside the hood, likely overwhelmed by the noise. Sorry, she is shy around strangers. In truth, it was not just being shy. This hatchling had chosen him and was devoted only to him. Suddenly, Yu felt eyes on him from several players standing at a distance. They were not looking at Yu, but at what was hidden in his hood. Yu walked away without making eye contact. Let us go home, Lu. And headed back to the forest. Will not give you to anyone. Just stay as my partner. The silver dragon purred in response to his words. Chapter 9. The degree of cooking and the silver tongue. The flames of the campfire swayed brightly in the quiet forest and carefully roasted meat on a skewer. I think it is almost ready.
He used a simple wooden skewer and grill he made himself.
He watched the heat carefully as the fat dripped off the meat.
To him, Lu watched the skewer like a food critic.
All right, it is a good color. It should be cooked through today. Yu removed the skewer and offered a piece to Lu. Here you go. I am confident in this one. Lu sniffed it, hesitated for a moment, and then turned her head away. What? Yu held his head. This hatchling was the ultimate grill police. If the center was too red or the surface too burnt, she would reject it. It was much better than the last one. Yu took the skewer and started the process all over again. His movements became more delicate as he focused on every detail. Third try, the meat was perfectly cooked and juicy. Try this one. Lou sniffed carefully and finally took a bite. She wagged her tail happily, and Yu pumped his fists. A log window appeared saying he earned the meat roasting proficiency skill. Are you actually a master teacher? Lou was happily devouring the meat from the skewer. Yu sat by the fire after they finished eating, feeling content. This is what I wanted to do. He remembered that he came to this world for this silence. Roasting meat by a fire with a small dragon was enough for him. Suddenly, he heard light footsteps approaching from the trees.
Hello. I saw you in the village. You are the one who likes camping. Toe. It was Marie, the shopkeeper, carrying a basket of herbs. I smelled the campfire and had to stop by.
Oh, sorry. If I am in the way, I can move.
No, it is fine. Campfire smoke actually helps keep the bugs away. Sat next to you and showed him her basket.
Are those edible?
Trera grass reduces the gaminess of meat and smells great.
Oh, so that grows on the northern hill.
Yes. It is most fragrant when the morning dew is still on it.
Yu looked at Lou and wondered about adding it to her food.
All right, I am going gathering. I will wake up early tomorrow. As the sun set, Yu put out the fire and looked at Lou. You have very expensive taste. Are you more of a gourmet than I am? Lou made a small sneezing sound from inside his hood. A sneeze. Did you catch a cold? A small flower petal was stuck to her back. I see. Is it pollen? Even dragons could have an itchy nose in the forest. I guess this is part of the camping realism. Yu patted her head and picked off the petal. I will use that grass to roast meat for you tomorrow. Lou curled up and wrapped her tail around his neck. Pursuing the perfect roast was Yu's ultimate healing. He would cook again tomorrow to make the meat she loved.